There are four specific compliments that land so deep in a woman's psychology that she will literally replay them in her mind hours after you've walked away. And the wild part? Most men already know these compliments. They just say them completely wrong. Every single time. If you've ever complimented a woman and felt that awkward silence, that flat, polite smile she gave you back, this video is why that happened. And more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. This isn't pickup lines. This isn't scripted openers you rehearse in the bathroom mirror. Every channel on YouTube selling you that stuff is selling you a costume you wear for 5 minutes before she sees right through it. What I'm going to give you today is rooted in how her nervous system actually works, the primal wiring underneath all the surface conversation. These are the unfiltered mechanics of what makes a compliment land like a stone dropped in still water. Ripples she feels long after you're gone. Stay with me to the end, because the fourth one, I'm saving it. And when I get there, you'll understand why most men never figure it out on their own. Let's go. First, understand something most men completely miss. A compliment is not information. You think you're delivering information when you say something nice. Your eyes are beautiful. You look great tonight. You believe you are transmitting a fact she needs to receive. But brother, that's not how her brain is processing what you said. Her subconscious isn't hearing data. It's scanning for something else entirely. It's asking, who is the man saying this? Does he say this to everyone? Is this real? Or is this a performance? Does he actually see me? Or is he just running a script? This is the primal filter every compliment passes through before she feels anything. Most men fail the filter instantly, and they don't even know they failed. They walk away thinking they did something right, wondering why she seems uninterested. Meanwhile, she's already forgotten what they said. Here's the raw reality. A compliment that fails the filter doesn't feel like a compliment to her. It feels like pressure. It creates distance. It triggers her to become more guarded, not more open. You've probably felt this dynamic work against you without ever having the language to describe it. That flash moment, you remember it. Walking up to someone, saying something you thought was smooth, and watching her face do that subtle thing, that polite nod. The conversation got shorter after that, not longer. That's the filter working. And now we're going to work with it instead of against it. Here's what the research consistently points to. Studies on human attraction behavior show that women process compliments through a deeply neurological lens, not an intellectual one. Her body is telling you something the moment you speak. The tone, the timing, the level of specificity, the confidence or lack of it in your delivery. All of this hits her nervous system before her conscious mind even processes the words. This is biological. This is not something she's deciding to do. It's instinctive. When a compliment passes through that primal filter successfully, something chemical happens. Her nervous system registers something she rarely experiences, the feeling of being genuinely seen, not assessed, not evaluated, seen. And that feeling? It's extraordinarily rare for most women, because most men are not capable of producing it, which means the man who can, and I mean actually can, not performs it, actually can, becomes something she cannot stop thinking about. That's the landscape we're operating in. Now let's build your map. Level 1, the observation compliment. This is the foundation, and it sounds simple, but almost every man gets it wrong in the same specific way. The typical man says something general. You look amazing. You're beautiful. You have a great smile. These feel safe. They feel positive. But here's the truth almost no one talks about. Generalizations register as generic. Generic means interchangeable. Interchangeable means you could have said this to anyone. And the moment she suspects you could have said this to anyone, it's over. It passes through the filter and fails. The level 1 correction is radical specificity. You're not complimenting her overall appearance. You're complimenting one precise, unexpected detail that you actually noticed. Not that you scanned her for something to compliment, that you genuinely noticed. There's a difference, and her subconscious can feel it. The way you laugh, you cover your mouth like you're trying to hold something back. I noticed that. The color you're wearing. I've been in this room for an hour, and somehow it keeps catching my eye. There's this energy you have when you're talking about something you care about. Your whole face changes. Do you see what happened there? You're not telling her she's beautiful. You're telling her you were paying attention. Her nervous system hears something rare. This man is actually present. He's here. He's watching. Not staring, watching. And that triggers something in her that generic flattery never could. Specificity is not flattery. Specificity is proof. Level 2. The internal compliment. Most men live their entire lives only complimenting women on the external, the appearance, the outfit, the body. And brother, this is not wrong, but it is incomplete. And incomplete compliments have a ceiling. They can make a woman feel attractive. What they cannot do is make a woman feel understood. There's a truth almost no one talks about when it comes to male-female dynamics. Women are surrounded their entire lives by men who notice what they look like. What almost no man ever does is notice who they are, the character, the way they operate, the specific quality that makes them different from the last 10 women you met. The level 2 compliment goes internal. You're not observing her appearance, you're observing her essence. And this requires you to have actually paid attention to something beyond the surface, which is why it hits so much harder when you do it. You're someone who listens, actually listens. Most people are just waiting to talk. You're different. There's something about the way you make decisions, like you've already thought 3 steps ahead and you're not telling anyone. You're the kind of person who makes people feel comfortable without trying. That's rare. Most people don't even realize that's a skill. Notice what this does to the filter. She can't dismiss it as generic. She can't tell herself you say this to everyone. Because this requires specific observation. And more importantly, it touches something she has always hoped someone would see. The parts of herself that aren't obvious. The parts she's put effort into. The parts she's quietly proud of. Her emotional surrender doesn't come from you telling her she's beautiful, brother. It comes from you telling her she's interesting. Profound, if you let it land. Now I want to stop here for a second, because I can feel some of you reaching for these levels like tools to deploy, scripts to memorize, and I need to pull you back. Because if you say these things without the masculine presence behind them, the groundedness, the calm, the genuine intention, she will feel the hollow space underneath the words. Women are wired to detect inauthenticity at a neurological level. Her nervous system will notice the performance before you even finish the sentence. These levels are not scripts. They're ways of seeing. Learn to actually observe. Learn to actually listen. The words are just what you say when you've already done the real work. Now, level 3. Level 3, the compliment that comes with zero need. This is where we separate the men who understand attraction from the men who are still running on hope. The average compliment carries invisible weight. There's an expectation embedded in it, an ask that the man himself isn't even conscious of. I said something nice, now you owe me a positive response. You owe me a smile. You owe me reciprocation. And she feels this. She feels the invisible transaction every time. And transactions don't create chemistry. They create obligation. The level 3 compliment is detached from outcome. You say it and then you let it exist in the air without reaching for anything back. You don't lean in, you don't hold eye contact waiting to see if it landed. You don't follow it with a question that forces her to respond. You say it, and then you move on. This is psychological detonation, brother, because it's so rare. Most men compliment her and then hover, waiting, hoping, needing, and that needing is visible to every cell in her nervous system. But a man who delivers something real and then simply continues casually without checking if she appreciated it, that man is communicating something at a primal level. He's communicating that he doesn't need her validation to feel whole. That this was a gift, freely given, not a transaction. Women are biologically wired to find this magnetic. She won't be able to stop thinking about why it didn't seem to matter to you. That why is what keeps her up at night. That why is what makes her want to find you again. Let the compliment breathe. Don't suffocate it with need. And now, the level 4. I said I was saving this one, and I meant it. Because this one is not a compliment in the way most men understand compliments. It doesn't follow the normal structure. You're not directly pointing at something she did or said or looks like. This one operates on a completely different level of her psychology. And when it lands, it doesn't just make her feel good, It makes you unforgettable. Level 4. The compliment that names what she hides. Here is the truth almost no one talks about. Every woman has parts of herself that she keeps quiet. Things she considers flaws that she's learned to apologize for or suppress or camouflage. The intensity she's been told is too much. The ambition she's been told to downplay. The way she thinks, too fast, too deep, too strange for most conversations. The humor she filters in case it's not received well. The sensitivity she's learned to armor over because vulnerability got used against her. These are her hidden layers, and she has spent years protecting them. When a man names one of these layers, not to expose her, not to analyze her, but to simply say, "I see this in you, and it's not a flaw, it's extraordinary," something breaks open in her, something emotional, something she didn't give him permission to touch. Her nervous system registers something it rarely ever feels: total safety with a man who actually knows her. This is what chemical surrender actually looks like, not physical, emotional. When she realizes that the part of her she has been hiding, the part she thought was too complicated, too much, too intense, is the exact part that you find most captivating, the effect on her subconscious is profound. It's not attraction, it's depth. And depth is permanent where attraction is temporary. How do you use this? You have to earn it. You earn it by listening carefully enough to notice what she holds back. You earn it by paying attention to the moments when she almost says something and then doesn't. The sentences she starts and then redirect. The laugh she pulls back. And then, at the right moment, not immediately, not rushed, but when it's real, you say it plainly. Most people don't know what to do with how fast your mind moves. I think that's their problem, not yours. You moderate yourself when you're talking to people you don't fully trust yet. You don't have to do that with me. There's this version of you that comes out when you forget to filter. That version is the most interesting person in the room. She won't tell you that just broke something open inside her. She'll just look at you differently after that. The conversation will shift. The energy will shift. And she will remember that moment long after everything else from the evening fades. This is the sacred level, brother. The one that almost no man ever reaches. Not because they can't, but because they never slowed down long enough to see her that clearly. Most men are too busy performing. They never stop performing long enough to actually see who they're performing for. Let me bring this together. Level 1, radical specificity. Prove you are paying attention. Level 2, the internal compliment. Prove you see who she is, not just what she looks like. Level 3, zero need attached. Prove you're not looking for something back. Level 4, name what she hides. Prove you're safe enough to see the real her. Each level builds. Each level passes the filter more completely than the last. And what she experiences by the time you've moved through all 4 is not just attraction. It's the feeling that this man is fundamentally different. That something here is worth exploring further, not because you ran a system on her, but because you were actually present, actually paying attention, actually masculine in the truest sense of the word, grounded, calm, perceptive, and complete. That's what changes everything. Brother, if this video landed, you've already earned something most men spend years looking for and never find. Now do me one thing. Leave this playing while you like this video and subscribe. Not because I'm chasing numbers, but because every man who finds this channel is one more man operating from a place of real understanding instead of anxiety and guesswork. And the world needs more of those men. Next video, we're going to go somewhere most men refuse to go. The truth about what actually creates long-term desire in a woman, and why almost everything you've been told about keeping the spark alive is doing the exact opposite. That one might be the most important thing I've ever put on this channel. I'll see you there.